The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Hey, hello everybody. Hold on. Oh, I have my fucking lights done right. Alexa, let there be light.
Okay.
There we go. That's better. A little bit. Hold on. I gotta scream for my daughter too. That's it. You better be decent. I am. Okay. Hey, you know, be really awesome. Fuck yeah, I want a bowl of cookies and cream ice cream. Look at you go. Okay. Best daughter ever. Go get me some cookies and cream ice cream. Yeah, I was muted on purpose because I had to yell for Jesse. Pretty sure you guys didn't want that. Are we ready for spoopy night? So, God damn it, I know Harley sent this to me a while back ago, and I'm over here. We fucking talk too much is the problem. Oh, there goes the dogs. They know the sound of ice cream. Look at the sticker Jesse got me. How cool is that? Yeah, awesome. It's okay. You can like bounce back and forth between the fight and stuff like that. Let me know how it goes. You didn't bet on a person, just made a bet with a friend of mine. Someone will lose an ear. That's fucking hilarious. No one's gonna lose an ear, and I'm almost willing to bet Jake Paul's gonna win because he's gonna make the most money. Right? He's gonna make the people who are running the show the most money. Right? Tyson's retired. He's already retired. He went out on winning. Fighters don't want to go out on a win. They want to go out on a loss. So he's probably going to lose. Also, the odds are in the favor of Tyson. So there's a higher payout if Jake wins. Okay? Also, Jake is an active boxer. He wins against Tyson. It's going to give him a certain amount of renown. So it's going to be an even bigger promotion for him for future fights. Follow the fucking money, people. Just saying. Oh! Yeah, it's a lot of motherfucking ice cream. You're fucking crazy. It's alright. I'll take it. I'll give some to the dogs. And why the fuck not?
Chocolate.
You know what? Loki's 13 years old. He can have whatever the fuck he wants.
But no.
He can have a little bit of chocolate. Calm down.
You know, a little bit, but not so much.
There ain't much in there. There ain't even enough in there for fucking Sif to fucking get sick off of. Get out of here. Nah. Yeah, here, let's start the show. Let's see here. We're gonna start with Lighthouse today. I think. What? You're freaking me out, girl. This is scarier than anything else. Ah! Alright, love you. Get out of here.
I never thought we'd be in danger. That was never a real, conscious thought. After all our adventures to ghost houses, seances, or abandoned asylums, none of us had ever actually run into
Get a
something
TNT factory
dangerous.
Fuck yeah, go work there, dude.
But a couple of years ago, that all changed. It was all because of something called the Forza crowd. Let me explain. In my early 20s, I fell in love with the dark corners of the internet. Video essays discussing various spooky threads and unexplained phenomenon of the rural Midwest. Clips showing seemingly impossible things done to ordinary people by mysterious creatures. Some which would be revealed as hoaxes, others that wouldn't. I've always had a particular love for local legends and rumors. There's something very real and raw about those special little whispers that exclusively travel by word of mouth. I found a couple of friends through this hobby, first of which is my buddy Paul. We've been friends ever since we dressed up as the same version of Penguin, the villain, at a Halloween party in our late teens. I thought our time exploring haunted houses would be over when he started to date this girl, Veronica, or more commonly known as Vera. My fears were unfounded though, as she turned out to be just as weird as he is, making a great addition to our club of hobby horrors. This excursion started because Vera told us about this thing from her hometown, some left-of-nowhere kind of place in rural Minnesota. She said there was a local legend, but that there had been so many sightings that it was nothing short of a miracle that it hadn't been more widely covered. Paulie and I were all ears. "I can't believe you haven't heard of it. None of you know about the Forza crowd?" she asked. Yeah, no, we hadn't. So it turns out this thing is a bit of a tall tale in her neck of the woods. The Forza crowd had been around for decades, and it was apparently so well known that most locals didn't even find it interesting anymore. Still, local law enforcement had an official warning out. And by warning, we mean a chain-linked fence and an angry sign. So the year I turned 24, we all packed ourselves into Polly's car and set our sights towards rural Minnesota. If this thing was as prominent as we'd been told, there was no way we were going to miss it. It's not as stupid as it sounds. Polly and I had been on dozens of excursions to places people had sworn were horrifying and actually USAA. But up until that point, we hadn't seen anything but creepy paintings, a couple of weirdly colored sunflowers, and felt a sudden cold chill or two. The idea of something physical and tangible was laughable. Vera called up one of her local friends ahead of our arrival. This guy was sort of a tour guide, specializing in what they call dark tourism. It's a thing, but it's often pretty grim stuff. Still, he seemed capable enough. He had a couple of YouTube videos that we checked out. He used to be easy to find back then. His YouTube channel bordered on about 200K subs. We packed for a sleepover. Snacks, tents, sleeping bags, couple of cameras, the usual. Vera told us little to nothing about what to expect. She wanted Neil to get a chance to give us the complete tour. I don't want to spoil it, she chuckled as we drove past St. Cloud. It's a thing, you know, it's a great thing. Come on, give us a hint, Polly begged. Like the name, what's that about? You know, 3's a crowd, but this is like 4, Neil said. Oh, great, real helpful, Polly sighed, taking a left turn back out on the highway. So we met our guide Neil on a cloudy afternoon in mid-May. With high summer right around the corner, the air was moist and the ground was muddy. There was the first sprinkling of rain in the air, and we could hear it rumbling from the east. Bad weather drawn in from Lake Superior. Neil was this peppy 30-something man. Khaki shorts, a small rucksack, a baseball cap, and a long-sleeved gray t-shirt. No hair, a trimmed beard, and a sunny disposition. The opposite of what I imagined a dark tourism tour guide to look like. Meanwhile, Vera looked like one of her parents worked at Hot Topic. Polly was hard to miss too. Not even a turtleneck and camo pants could cover all his tattoos. We'd pulled into a parking lot near an old hiking trail. There was a broken gate protecting an overgrown road. Neil's car, a sensibly priced sedan, was parked just a bit further down the road. He welcomed us, and Vera sorted out the introductions. With that said and done, the tour was on. Neil immediately stopped us. Okay, first stop is actually right here, Neil said, pointing at the ruined gate. The entrance to the Hatchet Paper Mill, shut down since the 80s. Folks didn't take kindly to the whole Clean Water Act, Neil said. We're technically trespassing, chuckled Vera. Cool, huh? Now, local folks have known about this place for decades. While going inside is sort of frowned upon, nobody really cares, Neil continued. So this thing isn't that dangerous then? I asked. Both yes and no, Neil chuckled. It usually stays away, but we might catch a glimpse. But yeah, it's not a big fan of people. As we put on our boots, Neil started telling us about what the hell we were to expect, and why this might turn out to be very interesting. See, the Forza crowd is not a supernatural specter or alien visitor. According to locals, it is a very real creature. It'd been around for decades, keeping to itself within the old paper mill. So most lawmen in these parts know about it, but there hasn't been any immediate need to deal with it, It's kept to itself, and the owners of the land aren't very government-friendly, Neil explained. So, what does it look like? What can we expect? I asked. Vera didn't tell you, huh? Neil chuckled. Really? Yeah, really, I said. Polly turned to Vera, but she just grinned. Neil shrugged. Well, looks like 4 people. Just 4 regular people. 2 taller people in the back, 2 shorter or crouching people in the front, like they're posing for a picture, Neil explained. It was about as stupid as it sounded. Suddenly, I could see why this wasn't a big thing. To an outsider, this thing would just look like 4 people. Even if I saw it with my own eyes, what was there to see? I couldn't help but to think that Neil probably had a couple of people ready to scare us a little. Okay, are you telling me we're trekking to some tetanus-covered shithole to watch 4 kids in Halloween masks stand at the end of a corridor? I whispered to Polly. Might be fun, Polly shrugged. Yeah, man, I'm not buying it, I replied. Being skeptical about this sudden reveal, Polly and I started asking a whole bunch of questions. Like, how it could just look like 4 people, and what it actually was. What it ate, where it lived, all kinds of stuff. I admit we weren't very polite. Neil didn't seem to mind, though, and tried his best to keep up with us. It needs chlorine as part of its diet, Neil patiently explained. That's why it moved into the mill. There's an adjoining chlorine extractor, which they use to bleach the paper before the shutdown. There's still loads of stuff around. It's in the water, too, Neil continued. So it just eats old paper?
Stop.
I asked. No. It munches up white-tailed deer and rodents. Not birds, though. Damn thing loves birds, Neil explained. Vera was having trouble containing her glee. We were giving her the, "Are you real?" look, and she couldn't stop grinning. Neil, on the other hand, seemed perfectly happy answering our questions. Okay, so how big is it? Gotta be sizable if it eats deer, I said, as we entered a clearing in the forest.
It's the size of 4 people. Duh.
Well, it's large enough to be mistaken for 4 people. It is a bit of a mimic, Neil explained.
Ooh.
You said it tricks people. Tricks people into what? I asked. Well, either to look a little closer or scare them off. It depends, Neil said. And you've seen this, I said. Sure have, Neil nodded. We'll probably all see it off in the distance if we're lucky. It does move around a lot. Making our way out of the clearing, we got a clear view of the abandoned paper mill. 6 large buildings and a couple of chemical silos lining a dying river. All of it looked worse for wear. Most of the outside was decorated with elaborate graffiti and rust. There wasn't a single window that hadn't been vandalized. Still, Neil didn't skip a beat. As we made our way closer, he kept telling us interesting facts. You can kinda notice it by the sound of birdsong, he explained. The thing rolls around in sawdust as a sort of dust bath, and it gets a lot of parasites stuck. Birds love it, so they're usually close by, ready to pick up little maggots and parasites, sort of like a crocodile, Neil said. I'm hearing birdsong right now, Polly laughed. You think that's the forest, or is it the Fives a crowd? It's Four's a crowd. And no, that's just birds. They're usually red ones flocking to it, making a sort of trilling noise, Neil responded, giving him a cold look. Oh man, that's exciting, said Polly. Neil said nothing. We entered the mill through one of the truck entrances, stepping over a collapsed garage door. I could practically taste the mold and residual chemicals, but Neil swore that we'd be fine. He said it was just moisture, apparently. Vera wasn't convinced, it seemed. We made our way to the second floor, walking across a rusted-out catwalk with a loose railing. Beams of light made its way through holes in the roof, slowly fading from the overcast. Overlooking the mill, we could see this place wasn't just some empty building. It must have been abandoned in a hurry. There were still some expensive machines left on the floor, most of which had been rusted to the core by decades of neglect. It roams a lot, Neil explained, as we slowly made our way forward. I don't think it nests until it finds a partner, and I can tell there aren't many of them around. How come? I asked. Well, I think they have no means of finding one another, suggesting they might have once lived in colonies where you could just, throw out an arm and grab a mate. There are a couple of holes around here where it's burrowed, suggesting it might be subterranean, he said. Really, I would love to see that. Really, I'd love to, Paulie chuckled. Okay, shrugged Neil. Well, let's go see one. Neil guided us through the factory floor, down a corridor, through a ransacked lunchroom, and out the back near one of the silos. There was a massive room containing vast piles of sawdust, easily the largest pile I'd ever seen. Paulie's instinct was to try and climb it, but Neil recommended against it. No, that thing is crawling with parasites. I wouldn't touch it. And you see that indent there on the left flank? That's where it's been, Neil explained. That just looks like a dent to me, Paulie said. Vera elbowed him, and Paulie made a lip-zipping motion. Neil did his best not to roll his eyes. Neil continued to explain the many findings of the locals over the years. For example, that the Forza crowd had a larger body than one might think, but it hides it behind the crowd of four, much like an insect shielding its body. He claimed they had a sketchy view of this back part from a side photo taken in the late 90s. Of course, it was blurry at best. You could barely tell there were people in the picture at all. There had also been a steep decline of white-tailed deer in the area. While many claimed this was due to illegal hunting, Neil argued that it coincided with the growth of the creature in the early 90s. This was a returning pattern with the Forza crowd. Everything about it could be explained by the most mundane things. It just looked like people at a distance. Its main food source was abundant. There was nothing immediate and apparent about it. The Forza crowd could just as well be nothing. Maybe that's why we'd never heard about it.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps.
No!
With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across teams and stay on track.
Definitely. Stop. No.
So your team can spend more time celebrating wins. Try it for free at asana.com.
That's some bullshit.
Neil continued the tour, showing us the various buildings around the complex. He told us about the different stations and the early history of the strange creature rumored to live there. We were shown a couple more points of interest, mostly relating to the early history of the creature, and by extent, the community at large. For example, there'd been a few people that had gone missing around the mill, but that was attributed to failing safety standards. Again, it was unclear. It could be blamed on a large, monstrous beast, but the far more likely cause was just an accident. Occam's razor. As we reached the rear exit, Neil clapped his hands together. This is where I usually spot it. It moves through the old chemical storage right over there, Neil
I
said.
didn't get any different than last stick.
So,
Try that.
what do we
Probably
do?
be pretty good.
I asked. Do we lure it
Let's do
out?
though.
Well, I suggest we wait, Neil smiled. Put your feet up, take in the sights. It's a really cool place, huh? Paulie walked over to me,
What?
carefully elbowing me for attention. Leaning in, he whispered, "The kids he hired to scare us aren't here yet, huh?" Still, it was nice to just be out with friends for a change, break up the monotony of work. We put up our tents, we had a couple of hot dogs. Vera took a nap, listening to her favorite podcast. Paulie went for a jog on the catwalk, making little dust particles rain on the factory floor. It echoed through the entire building. I got a chance to sit down with Neil for a bit, just the two of us. He seemed like a genuinely nice guy, but I could tell he was putting on a show. Then again, that was kind of his job, huh? Vera had known him since high school, so he'd given her a good price for this. In a quiet moment, I asked him, "So what's the deal, man? Why is this so interesting?" I asked. "You know, it's a funny thing. It's right there for all to see, and everything about it just looks like a hole punch in nothing." Neil smiled. "Oh, come on, man. I mean, it's a great story. You've put a hell of a lot of thought into it. And look, I appreciate that. Most places, they just say it's like a ghost or an alien," I said. "Look," he nodded, raising his hot dog from the open fire. "I'm not bullshitting you. This thing is real."
What?
You sure you don't want anything?
No, I don't want anything.
I looked at him for a moment. I could tell there was no hesitation behind those eyes.
What?
Either this man was a born
Yeah,
liar,
get my water.
or he actually believed this thing. For the next couple of hours, the sky grew darker. The rain passed us by, but not without scattering a few drops our way. The overcast drowned the rusty walls in black, making the shadows from our campfire long and alien. Spending the night there was impressive in and of itself. The uneasy sounds of groaning metal, combined with a Minnesota wild slipping in through the cracks in the building veneer. We set up our tents on the outskirts of the old administration building. No risk of setting fire to anything. We could tell it was frequented by a lot of rebellious teenagers. The graffiti spoke for itself. Neil assured us that the Forza crowd didn't mind people, and that it would keep its distance. In his experience, it wasn't interested in hunting people. Paulie just rolled his eyes. The charade was going strong. I had a surprisingly restful sleep, nodding off the moment my head hit the pillow. I didn't get to sleep for long, however. A few minutes to midnight, I heard a rustling noise coming from Paulie and Vera's tent. After I heard the tent open, I peeked out. I was a bit embarrassed to see the two of them sneak out with a roll of toilet paper, obviously going off to mind their own business. I lay back down to sleep, when after a couple minutes, there was a whisper outside my tent. Peeking out again, I could see Vera and Paulie now looking a bit more awake. "Holy shit," Paulie smiled. "They're here. You gotta see this, man." I looked over at Neil's tent. The man was fast asleep. Had he planned this in advance? How did he know we'd be skulking around at night? Grabbing our flashlights, a camera, and putting on some proper boots, the three of us left to get a better look, leaving Neil behind in his tent. "Right around the corner," Vera whispered. "They're just standing there." There was a hole in the wall leading to the outside. Paulie went first, then Vera. The moment I stepped outside, I was hit by an immediate chill. Maybe the storm was turning back. Slowly raising their flashlights eastward, it came into view for the first time. The Forza crowd. 4 people, standing out in the middle of the night. A man, a woman, and 2 younger men in their late teens. A family, seemingly. All stood huddled up together, wearing identical white shirts and navy blue pants. They all had the same hair color, just different lengths. The parents stood shoulder to shoulder, while the younger ones stood about a step ahead, and with a bit of space between them. I couldn't help but to stare. Vera took a picture with her digital camera, making sure the flash was off. It was eerie. Even Paulie could feel it, even if he'd never admit it. "That's messed up," he whispered. "Why'd they come so late?" "Maybe he heard us sneak out," Vera whispered back. "Either way, this is insane, right?" I wasn't so sure. The way Neil spoke about it seemed a bit too honest to be so simple. As Paulie kept his flashlight fixed on them, they slowly began to move. With arms firmly at their sides, the four of them slowly stepped sideways. It was eerily coordinated, moving in a sort of diagonal tandem, almost like they were gliding. We followed them a bit, just to see what they were doing. They were walking backwards towards one of the chemical silos, always keeping their eyes firmly fixed on us. As they got further away, they seemed to speed up. Vera barely got a chance to say hold on before they hurried inside the silo, still maintaining that perfect cohesion. As they disappeared, I could even hear Paulie sigh with relief. "That was freaky," he said. Turning back towards our makeshift camp, we rounded the corner, only to suddenly stop. There were more people. Another group of four, these a lot smaller. Children, maybe 6 or 7 years old. 2 who were a little taller, and 2 a little bit smaller. All with their arms straight, and their feet moving in that same strange diagonal tandem. Before we got a chance to speak, they made a strange whistling noise and disappeared into a crack in the wall. This wasn't part of the plan. I'd never agreed to have kids roam around a place like this. It was dangerous. Whether this was Neil's idea or someone else's, this was just a bad idea. All right, that's enough. We gotta wake him up now," I said. Then again, something in the back of my mind was telling me that this was too strange to just be a couple of stray kids. The rational part of me insisted that this was nothing more than a spook or a misunderstanding. But another part of me was starting to wonder what the hell I'd stepped into. Whispering for Neil to wake up, we could hear him murmuring to himself. He looked out of his tent with a wide yawn. "They're here now," Vera said, "but the kids are a little much." Neil just blinked, looking back and forth between us. "What kids?" he asked. Vera told him what we'd seen outside. It didn't seem to give Neil any pause until she clarified the group of kids that hurried inside. Neil just sat there, putting his clothes on with a furrowed brow. If he'd been playing the act of a tour guide up until now, this was the point where something changed. He asked her to clarify several things: their height, their speed, their reaction, their sounds. Paulie didn't seem to know what to think about this, flip-flopping between die-hard skepticism and genuine concern. I was somewhere in between. "Well, started Neil. "It's been rumored that the Forza crowd is a sort of arachnid. It might be parthenogenetic." "Wait, what kind of what genetic?" I asked. "Parthenogenetic," he clarified. "Able to effectively breed without a mate," Neil explained. "What would that even mean?" Paulie asked. Neil paused for a moment, then sprang into action. "It means we have to leave. It's nesting," he said.
Modern people often ask themselves, why do I have to study history?
There we go.
As we hurried to bring down our tents and pack up our things, I noticed something overhead. In and out of the holes in the roof, little red birds fluttered about a dozen of them. Thinking back on what Neil had said earlier, I was sure he'd mentioned something about birds. I tapped him on the shoulder, pointing upwards, and his face went pale as he held up a finger to his lips. Vera and Paulie noticed, and we all fell silent, moving very slowly as to not make noise. Every now and then, the birds would land, making little chirping noises, and then return upwards. Vera pointed at something, and there it was. It slowly sidestepped into view, only the legs of the 4 people moving, their arms remaining straight. Their heads wobbled a little as it moved, looking more like bobbleheads than people. They still looked like they were floating forward, held up by some unseen force. But most worrying of all, they were coming towards us. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to run. Another part wanted to stand there and fully believe that this was somehow all bullshit. It had to be. There's no such thing as monsters. I've checked. Over all the years of laughing at the dark, I'd learned that there really was no such thing as monsters. But as these 4 strange people crept closer, I wasn't so sure anymore, and Neil seemed just as, if not more, confused. "Nobody moves," he whispered. "Let's see what it..." And then out of little cracks and nooks, I could see more faces. The 4 children, for one, but another set of 4 further down. They didn't look at all like children, more like miniature adults. All moving in that same strange pattern, alternating their steps among each other. These just... I don't know, they didn't look finished. Hair growing out of their eyes, one leg too short, another too long, a drooping mouth that wouldn't stop twitching. 2 of them were conjoined at the shoulder, making an awful gurgling noise. I counted 6 groups in total, and some of those groups, they weren't people. They couldn't be. That's not what people look like. The largest one, as it got closer, was bigger than I'd expected. Easily 7 feet tall. Still, they all looked at us with those glassy-eyed nothings. They didn't really have eyes. It was more like white globes with accidental spots. One of the red birds gently landed on the shoulder of the tall creature, gently pecking at its neck. It didn't even flinch. Paulie held Vera tight as we all slowly backed off, leaving what little we'd brought behind. The campfire had long since burned out, but the tall one still daintily stepped over the embers. It did so in a strange manner, having one of the front people lift its legs straight out, seemingly levitating in the air. But that's when the illusion broke. As it got closer, it seemed to let go of its mimicry. One of the 2 front people split in half, revealing a set of arachnid legs with the same color as their hair. Impossibly tall and thick legs, hiding an all-black creature with dark, beady eyes. They'd been there all along, folding into vertical rows, acting as the back row's shirt buttons. They unfolded like origami, wordlessly tearing themselves apart, breaking whatever image I had of it, revealing a creature stretching out to its full size, easily breaking 9 feet tall with arms in every direction. Every leg was camouflaged as half a person that, when put together, would form the illusion of a group of 4. Fake bodies, nothing more than membrane and skin writhed back and forth lifelessly. Morbid appendages.
That's fucking cool.
I barely even heard the others screaming. Paulie grabbed Vera, heading for one of the side exits. Neil just kept repeating, "No, no, no," over and over, not even running. And I was frozen, staring into the slight reflection of 8 eyes arranged in 2 perfect columns of 4. White-clothed arms had unfolded into mandibles, creeping closer. In that moment, I thought I was going to die. I wasn't accepting that this was actually happening. 100 thoughts were running through my mind at once, painting all the strange possibilities that might explain this. A prank show? A bad dream? Something. Anything. I could have died that day. Suddenly, it turned away from me. Paulie had run a hot dog stick straight through its right front leg. Looking back at this, it was all so fast. Using 2 of its legs, the Forza crowd hurled him straight across the room and up 1 level, slamming into the upstairs catwalk railing. Paulie wasn't moving. Vera was panicking, doubling back to get to him. Neil grabbed her, heading for the side exit. I could have tried going with him, but there was no way I'd get by that angered creature. Instead, we had to split up, force it to pick a lane. And of course, it went after me. I went straight ahead in the wrong direction, down a long corridor, my steps pounding the dusty concrete. A dozen little feet followed me. Even their steps sounded human. It was like they were wearing shoes. The large one contracted, crawling forward with its 4 front legs first, furiously tapping its way forward. It was so fast, so twitchy, like it had abandoned all attempts at mimicry. I managed to make my way up the catwalk. The moment I reached the top, the stairs collapsed behind me, deafening me with a flood of metal crashes to the floor. The creature couldn't make its way up these old walkways. There was too much concentrated weight. But that didn't stop it. Moments later, the tips of its arms would wrap around the catwalk as it hung upside down beneath, trying to bite through the metal. And while I was fast, it could easily keep my pace. I could feel the mandibles poking through the steel, scraping against the bottom of my boots. Its arms reached for me, tearing at my jacket with little claws at the end. A section of railing gave out, unbalancing the creature and nearly knocking me to the floor below. Instead, it lost its grip and fell. It'd just be a few seconds before it got back up again. I realized then, this was a creature hungry to feed its young. This was not a docile attraction. Not anymore. There was a short platform connecting the 2 of the buildings. The thing had once looked like a sort of glass tube, but now it was just a set of unstable open-air platforms. Still, I didn't have much choice. I went for it. I couldn't think straight anyway. I have these brief memories of the chase. It felt like hours, even though it was probably just minutes. In my mind, I can picture every corner, every bump, and every skip. But it's hard to put into words. It was just this long, wiry passage weaving together into one singular, adrenaline-rushed madness, with that thing close behind me. Reaching the other end of the platform, I could see the Forza crowd retreating into the dark. It was clever. It knew that platform couldn't support its weight, and that the fall would hurt. I ended up the way I came, on the same walkway as Paulie, overlooking our previous campsite. Running up to him, I could tell he was breathing but badly concussed. His one eye was blood-filled and swollen, and his left arm was bent the wrong way. There was no way I'd get him to walk out of there anytime soon. I considered my options. I could leave him. I could run. I could try to pick him up and pull him along, but none of it was plausible. Especially not leaving him. Instead, I propped us up against the wall. Somehow he was still conscious, if barely. Together we sat there, listening to the red birds fluttering in and out of the broken roof. Turns out, the Forza crowd couldn't reach us. It couldn't use the adjoining platforms, and there were no remaining stairs. Instead, it stood beneath us, desperately reaching upwards. In a sort of fear-induced bravado, I stood up to look down at it. The catwalk groaned but held firm. For a moment, our eyes met. This button-eyed creature, completely emotionless, a creature that understood nothing but meat and offspring. It still reached for me, carefully, even tenderly, as if asking me to be a friend, to surrender. I sat back down next to Paulie. He panted heavily. I think his ribs were broken. I'm gonna get a new tattoo, he blurted out. Please don't, I muttered back. As he pointed at the thing, the arachnid legs slowly came back down. And little by little, the creature retreated into the compound, its young scuttling back and forth between its legs. And from a distance, even then, it was still hard not to see it as just a group of 4 people, just standing around in the dark. The 2 of us stayed up there, nodding in and out of exhaustion. I tried to keep Paulie stable, frantically looking up at the sky, waiting for the overcast to drift away. The morning had to come at some point. Paulie and I spent hours up there, waiting for Vera and Neil to come back. They eventually did, bringing a couple of cops with them. They managed to help Paulie back down and to tend to his wounds. He would end up losing the eye in surgery, but would otherwise make a full recovery. He actually got a tattoo of a spider later on. We've talked a lot about uploading our pictures and videos, but even now, looking back at what little footage we have, it just looks like people standing around in the dark. There's no attack or monstrous transformation. It doesn't look like anything. Just people. Strange people, but people nonetheless. Neil talked to the cops about reinforcing the fence. As he suspected, the Forza crowd had gone through a sort of self-fertilization, reproducing without a mate. We'd done the equivalent of standing between an angry mother bear and her cubs. But then again, we lived to tell the tale. They didn't do much to prevent this from happening again. They fixed part of the fence, and they put up a new sign. I think the owners also came in to make some kind of statement, but I don't know about all that. It's been a few years since then. I've tried my best to find a good time to talk about it, but I just never got it right. It was too important to just blurt out and too difficult to think about. Neil has taken down his YouTube channel and removed his videos, not wanting to get any more people to come look for the Forza crowd. In fact, a lot of it has been scrubbed from the internet. Even the Wikipedia page, I think.
No, I'm
I think he works with some kind of
I'm
a
just listening
riverboat
to the
rentals
story and
out
imagining
east
it.
now. In a couple of months, Vera and Paulie are getting married. I think it's time we all put this behind
really
us
like this.
and we look to the future. As his best man, that's all I can do, really. Because even if there are monsters waiting outside, we can choose where we spend our nights. I choose to spend it here, far away, where the fire burns bright, far from the Forza crowd.
I liked it. That was good. That was hella good. The Forza crowd speeder.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Special thanks to all my patrons. If you'd like to become a supporter and get the audiobook early access version of upcoming stories, there's a link to my Patreon below. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.
That was in power save mode, yep. Maybe I was just trying to garner more views because, you know, sleeping streams are a thing. But no, I was just going back imagining the story. It's awesome.
What's good, guys? Wyatt here, back again. So it's been a couple days since my last video. I'm in a rush right now just because I have to get to class in a few minutes, so I'll try to record this quickly. But anyway, I wanted to do a update video on what happened the other day at the end of my last video. So I haven't gone back down there since then, but I have gone to the site of the hole a couple times in the past few days. I took someone in the comments' advice, and I was able to get a couple of trail cameras from my old botany professor. I ended up switching to business back in like January, but I went back to her and she was nice enough to lend out 2 of her trail cameras to me. So I was able to take them out there, plant them, one out in the bushes looking at the hole and one in the hole. Discreetly, of course. And I already know, like, you guys are gonna say that's totally sketch. It's private property.
I literally stopped eating the same 3 meals every week because of HelloFresh. I was really out here struggling for so long with the basics of cooking when I should have been using HelloFresh this entire time. It's ridiculous how convenient this is. The meal planning, ingredient shopping, and portioning.
Yeah. Alright, so sue me. If the landowners find this, sue me. Go ahead, try to do that. Yeah, but there's no way I'm walking away from this thing. I need answers. So I set up the trail cameras, and I didn't see anything. No one showed up. I got like 1 deer, a lot of glitches, like a lot of pictures of nothing moving grass, but yeah, I didn't see anyone the whole time. So that definitely doesn't really answer any questions, like why there is a mile-long staircase going down to what looks like a shopping mall in the middle of nowhere. But it makes me less hesitant to go back, because last time I started, especially on the way out after I stopped recording, I got very paranoid I was going to run into people, like I tripped some sort of silent alarm, but it seems really devoid of life. There's no one around. Alright, so I got a dip for now, but my plan is to head back out to the woods later today, and record a part 2. So, see you there. Alright, so we're out here. I've been walking for like 30 minutes now. Got off the trail a little while ago, and from here it's pretty much just like a straight shot through these woods. So it's nice, a couple miles.
Shit is just fucking weird.
Finally,
watch this?
Here we are. And it looks untouched. Yeah, it looks exactly the same as when I was here yesterday when I picked up the trail cams. I even set up some sticks down there to tell if someone had walked. So it looks like no one's been here since yesterday, at least, and no one has been there for a few days before. You can see over here, this is, that's where I put the outdoor trail cam. Looking over here directly at the hole. You can see that's the spot where I put the other camera. Oh, and also this light right here. This went out sometime while I was away. I noticed when I was watching back the last video. I'm not sure what to make of that. You know, I'm still on the fence about sharing any info with the location here. Just because I don't know who I'm going to attract with this, and I don't know what I'm getting into. This is clearly no fucking joke, the scale of this thing. But I did a deep dive online after I got back last time, and it didn't really come up with anything. There was like a mining company that owns part of the land here, but I think all of this is just owned by a family. Not anyone like particularly notable, just like locals, I think. None of you are getting the leg workout I'm getting. Like, on the way back, having to climb up those stairs again, and then all the way out through the woods, it was like dark for like a solid hour walking back. I thought I was gonna fucking die, but
there's no way to keep it a secret.
yeah, honestly, they've been sore for days, and
like,
this is not gonna help.
Here,
but
right?
it's good.
So, there's these people called geoguessers or whatever, and they are fucking ridiculously good. Like, ridiculous. What do you mean you can't hear me? Hello? 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 How about now? Holy shit. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You hear me now that the video is paused? Well, I shouldn't be fucking quiet. Input gain's about where it should be. Oh, I was. Is my volume, is it good now? Is it normal? Because that's like really weird. Hello? Hello? Wow, it's like my fucking sound processing's not really doing the thing. No, I didn't mute. Why would you ask if I muted? Can you hear me now? You're so confusing me. My claps should never come in, so I'm like testing that by watching like audio bars. It's just weird for my fucking sound to just drop like that, though. Hello, baby.
It's going in and out. That's so fucking weird. Maybe I just need to uninstall fucking Wavelength software and reinstall it, see if that fucking helps. It is being weird. Doobie doobie doo. Test, 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 test. Jesus fucking Christ, it is just burying itself. You hear Jesse? Okay. Yeah, I mean, she was talking. Am I coming in fine? Or am I like super loud or anything? That's weird that the fucking audio would just fucking go out like that. I gotta readjust this shit. Completely uninstall the Wavelength and reinstall it. Test. Oop. Test. Boy, that's fucking crazy. That's like shooting the fuck up there. And Jesse's all singing. She's like singing to a Disney movie or some shit. It's pretty cute. Anyways.
Okay. Just gonna be quiet for a sec. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good, folks. I think I forgot to mention this, but also, day after the last video, or the day before I put up the cameras and the day I put the cameras, I hung around for a little while, sort of scouted the area, just to see if I could find any other equipment, just traces of people, really at all. Didn't see anything. There was no tire tracks, didn't see any footprints. It's like, whatever this is, it's very much a back door. There's 100% other entrances, but...
Dude, it just keeps going. It does. It really does. Am I coming through all right? You never answered me. Am I like back to normal?
Yeah, see, I don't feel used to this after last time. This is still very,
Okay, thank you. I really needed to know that.
grass smell that I mentioned. It's, like a cornfield kind of smell. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Dude smelling cornfield shit.
See? There's rust.
Yes.
I don't hear any music
I
this
don't.
time.
I love you too.
It's no music.
Bye bye.
All the lights are still off.
Like, what the fuck is this? Have you not seen this before? If you haven't, this is gonna be awesome. You're gonna love this.
My knees are killing me. I'm ready to bolt any second.
You've seen pieces? Okay. What the fuck? Why is my mic fucking picking some shit up?
And it's like completely silent. So I shouldn't even be shining a light, ideally.
Okay.
But
It's like fucking gripping onto that bitch like fucking like a retard with the last cupcake or his favorite toy.
jeez, man. See if we can get it open.
Like you shouldn't hear the lighter. Oh yeah?
Please, let me join your guild. I want to be a part of a team. I know you are a...
This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's loud. Alright. No.
You better hope he got fucking stamina for days.
Oh, so loud. So loud.
It looked like it got pulled out of his hand too. Maybe.
See anything? Oh, jeez. Oh my god. This really is a mall. Midtown Art Walk. Gallery. Oh my god. Wow. I genuinely don't even know what to say.
Would you investigate further?
It's just a reflection. I see some kind of booth over there. How big is this place? This is massive. How do you build something like this? I'm still in shock. I'm fucking shock. Look. Can you name 8 veggies that start with the letter B? Okay.
No. I can't.
The backrooms from TikTok. Yeah, we fell into the backrooms. That's what this is. There's so many chairs.
I don't know, man. I'd want to, but you might find some bad shit. Yeah, who knows?
This place just goes off in all directions. It's an AMC. It's a fucking AMC.
He says a fucking AMC.
Some kind of like a doomsday bunker.
Boo doo 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 doo. Boo doo 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 doo. Boo.
What does this say? Thank you for shopping. Valley View Center.
What is he? I know, dressed in vaguely familiar clothes.
Fees. Is this? Is that the name?
Okay. Oh, that should be fucking a lot better now. Maybe.
I should have brought a better flashlight.
Tired of choosing between price and power?
No,
With
I'm not.
Extreme PCs, you don't have to. Our holiday sale means our already low prices.
There are 14 cities in the U.S. named Dallas. Really?
Yeah, it's an elevator. And these all look like shops. So this is like proper mall. And it has I don't know how far I want to go in here, but
No.
until I hear
Got a little friend.
something, I think
Oh, wow.
I'm just gonna keep going. See what I see.
If you're cold, he's cold. Let him in. It's a little moth that flew in from the outside. Artist galleries and studios.
Galleries. Like artist stuff. Makes no sense. I'm also seeing a weird amount of stuff mentioning Texas.
Okay. Oh. My mic dropped.
I keep seeing Dallas show up, but I'm not sure if it's talking about the city or if it's a different thing. But I've seen like 2 Texas shops, and it's on a lot of signs.
Whoa.
We're back.
Fixing my mic stand.
See them again. Learn their stories. Care about West Dallas. Yeah, it says Dallas again. For some reason, it's not that cold down here.
It wouldn't be.
Court, but yeah, another studio. It's like these are all art studios.
I'm closing the door. In or out, guys?
Is that an octopus? What is that? Yeah, it's an octopus. Big painting.
Cephalopods. Cephalopods are great. Ooh.
That scared the shit out of me. What is this? Some kind of artwork. Dude, that is uncanny as fuck.
It's definitely in Texas.
I don't like this thing. Oh, fuck.
Would you run? Loki.
My daughter's 4 years old. She's still watching Disney movies.
Dude, this
and
movie
she
is funny as
choosing
fuck.
A white princess over princesses of color.
Have you talked to her about that?
All the time.
My 3-year-old
Hello,
daughter
Brett Cooper.
is very, her
So
favorite
cute.
princess is Moana.
Cute as a button.
She wants to be Moana for Halloween. Do I go and buy the Pacific Islander native attire for my white 3-year-old?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
But I guess what we might call the Moana problem here. On one hand, there's cultural appropriation. On the other hand, there's gravitating towards white characters.
Right.
So it's almost like no matter which way you go, you end up back in racism.
So good. It is so good.
Am I Racist? Now streaming only.
That movie was hilarious. You guys should definitely watch it. I agree with Brett Cooper. It's so good. Hey, Loki, baby. That music, though, right? What? Seems like my mic's gripping on. There we go. Yeah. Got me looking at my fucking mic. This weird fucking chair. I miss the chair. Got me all freaking out on my audio. Yeah, dude, I'd get out of there too. Run! Run!
We're out.
Oh. Oh. Oh, motherfucker.
Come on. Come on. Wait. Oh, I really fucked up, guys.
Oh yeah, dude, he's so fucked. I swear I've been in this exact mall. I don't know. Do you live in Dallas? Don't answer that. Have you been to the Dallas Mall? Dude, we might all be seeing different malls. It was about 16 years ago, maybe, or more or less. I don't fully remember. Okay. What the fuck is going on with my mic? It's like just fucking holding on. Trying to pick shit up, and it shouldn't be doing that at all. Like, at all. So weird. Like, why is it doing that? Just fucking turn that one on instead. Nope, that one's still doing it too. Maybe it's the both of them on? Vaguely familiar enough to think you've been there. Doo-ba-doo-doo. Whoa. Huh. Crazy. It's hungry now? What's hungry? I don't know, it was weird there. These fucking ads, dude. Jesus. It's a cool looking mall. Remember there being an AMC on the second floor of that mall I went to so many years ago. I mean, they showed an AMC here. Do you remember that little playpen area?
There's a door right here. On the map. You're fucking kidding me.
He's being hunted. What's hunting him?
Is this the... What? What in the world?
What's hunting him, Harley? Black shadow figure.
Shit, I don't know whether or not to go to them or...
I don't see any black shadow figure, but okay.
There might be like an elevator. Or an elevator. It's gotta be an elevator.
That would make this scarier is all I want for Christmas. Like, oh.
Hello?
Oh, that thing.
I'm leaving. I'm trying to leave.
That's not a shadowy figure, though. That's a fucking giant on one of them fucking finger-breaking butt scooter things that you fucking had and played on middle school and grade school and shit. That's what that is.
Hey.
He said, hey, hey, hey. It's a weeping angel. He's so fucked, dude. Oh, motherfucker, run! We might see him die. Ooh. Ah. Yeah, let's go back to the Super Nintendo, huh? Dude's like trapped down here. He is beyond fucked. It's your typical mall.
Yeah, that's where I am.
What gets me is everything looks nice and neat and new. It's just weird. A little dusty, but that's it. Jesus, fucking YouTube and its ads, man. This reminds me of a game.
I don't even give a shit anymore. There's motion sensitive cameras. There's definitely some me. That statue thing. Some kind of security system generated now. There's the data out of here. Talk to whoever. It's just a misunderstanding. I didn't realize
What's up, honey?
what this was.
I can't hear you. I have headphones on.
Go to bed.
Oh. I thought we were going to watch a movie after this.
I'm tired.
All right, good night. Love you too, honey. Dude, now it looks all decrepit and grown over.
I need to leave.
He's like, I need to leave. Maps won't help because he's not even in the same dimension as us. He's trapped in some hollow imitation pocket dimension with a hungry monster so terrible that thing he saw was all his brain could take. We're back! This is very well made. Yo, fuck! Run, motherfucker, run! I can't tell if he's actually going up the stairs or... Why is the chandelier swinging like that? Emergency rooftop exit.
What do you want? Shit.
This is awesome. Not very much to work with right there, is there? Oh shit. That fucking fucked me up. I hate heights.
The time has come. Two larger-than-life legends collide. Sean Jones is...
That was very well made. I enjoyed it. We can call it early, or we go watch a little 10-minuter. How long is this now? Nope.
I wouldn't suggest watching this video alone, as what happens in it is pretty creepy.
Ooh.
Reddit user Sir Squid posted the following video and writes, "My wife and I occasionally hear footsteps when nobody is there, and sometimes this is followed by a rocking chair moving. I set up a motion camera over the weekend and this happened."
What you whining about, Sif? Come here. Come here.
Now, if the rocking chair didn't stop, I would have dismissed this as fake. Someone could have easily pulled this off with a string and blurred it out with special effects. However, how the rocking chair stopped seems as though someone stood up from it. Perhaps it was a ghost that stood up just to knock over the stuff on the shelf. But as always, I'll leave it up to you to come up with your own explanation. Feel free to share down below. Facebook user Shyunique Legacy was live streaming on Facebook when he captures something unsettling. Take a look.
Oh, I ain't just gonna lie for this shit right here that I just seen, man. I'm telling y'all, it's some weird ass shit going on around this motherfucker, dog. Like, on God, it's some weird ass.
It's that dude from Longest Yard.
Like, I'm really just.
It's that Anton dude.
I really think I just saw like.
Hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your sisters.
Show y'all that the picture came from in the back of my yard. Let me see if I can flip this around. That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece.
No. What? You're gonna fall. You keep doing that.
This is the exact spot that I just.
He said, "Ho ho." I love you.
This wasn't the first time Shyunique has seen the strange entity. He's seen it before, lurking in the trees in his backyard, and took a photo of it. It's hard to make out what's in this photo, but there appears to be something there. But the video he took is the most compelling piece of evidence of the strange entity. Although interesting, it is still nonetheless pretty creepy.
That thing's fucking tall.
It can be such a relief when you capture on camera what many people have doubted to be true, especially those you've told. Such was the case for Reddit user Project Bad, who captured the following on camera. Project Bad writes, "I asked the spirit in my house to knock over the giraffe. No strings or anything, just a straight up response from the other side. I've been telling people for months that things happen in my house that I can't explain, and I started filming my house and caught this."
Yes! Yes! Oh, thank you. Oh, you see that? Fuck yeah.
You can tell by the sound of his voice how relieved he is to have finally captured what's been happening at his place. This is just one of the many strange things that have been going on in his home. He has yet to upload more videos of these strange occurrences, so stay tuned. Kevin Koger lives at an apartment complex that's been there since who knows when. It's been up for a while, that's for sure, and it's for this reason that Kevin thinks his apartment is haunted. Kevin states that he hears strange noises at night, but the creepiest thing he's encountered so far was the following incident he captured on camera. Check it out.
Yo, what the Yo. Bruh? Bro, what the Dude, what the Holy I got goosebumps. What the I'm f***ing out, bro. I'm f***ing out. No f***ing way. No f***ing way.
As you
He
can
just
tell,
fucking runs.
Kevin is at a loss for words. He makes it clear that this wasn't staged or set up to look real. This actually happened, and he thinks that this might be the doing of some entity. But what are your thoughts on this? Could this be a ghost, or an attempt at making it look like one? Let me know down below. Gavin Watts was using Google Earth to explore the catacombs of Paris, which is a place that is known to be haunted. Knowing this, Gavin wasn't surprised to see the following image that was captured. Have a look It's pretty spooky.
What did they do? Take like a little fucking RC drone in there? Dun dun dun.
There have been many strange things caught on Google Maps/Earth, but this is definitely up there with the rest that are really creepy. But as is usually the case, there might be an explanation for this. Perhaps this might have been the cameraman who was sent by Google to take these photos. Who knows? But one can't help but think that this might be a spirit or some entity. This is the catacombs after all. If you don't know what that is, then I highly suggest you look it up. It's pretty terrifying. And definitely check out As Above, So Below.
That was a good
It'll
fucking
for
movie.
Sure leave you feeling spooked.
The only way out is down.
Reddit user Notorious went straight to his garage after hearing noises that were coming from there. He was on Snapchat, talking to his fiancée about the strange noises he was hearing. He was sending her clips of the garage in the hopes of capturing something strange. And, to his surprise, he did capture something unusual.
Yeah. I see a ghost. I'm not sure if I even believe anymore, but yo, okay.
No, there's an animal. I saw it.
No.
So, if you look between here and here.
Yo, okay.
Did you guys see it? A little cat?
No.
Something pushes the sleeping bag off the shelf. Notorious has stated that his dog was at the garage door, far away from where it was at, so it couldn't have been his dog that accidentally tipped the bag over. Others have stated that it might have been a rat that was passing by. Although that might be a possible explanation,
that was his dog.
I just don't think that's what happened. As always, what are your thoughts on this? It isn't often the case that a ghost takes on the form of an actual human body. Rarely do we see videos of such spirits. We usually hear about them in stories or personal experiences. But this next video might be actual proof of a ghost manifesting itself as a living, breathing entity. Check it out. It's pretty creepy.
That is pretty creepy. That was pretty good.
Kamiata Orange, the person recording this, was dancing in her bedroom when out of nowhere, an apparition of what appears to be a girl manifests itself right behind her. Maybe this entity wanted to make its presence known, and it could only do so through the lens of a camera, as for some reason, cameras can detect what the human eye can't. Of course, this is merely a theory, but I'd be interested in hearing what your thoughts are on this. I wouldn't suggest watching the following clip unless you're fine with looking over your shoulder once every few seconds. In the following clip, someone appears to have set up a camera on a table pointing at the kitchen entrance. The reason as to why it was set up there in the first place is unknown, but later in the video, it becomes clear as to why it was there. Watch this clip and see what happens. A shadowy apparition passes by in front of the camera. The strange activity
That's just a kid
that might have
hauling
been going
ass,
on in this
dude.
house might be the reason as to why there was a camera. Again, this is purely speculative, but I can't
That kid
help
ran
but
so
think
fast it
that there have
fucking
been
slowed
strange
down the
things
frame
going on in
rate.
this house. So that's usually the case with videos like these. Regardless, this video is pretty creepy.
Number 3.
If you're hiding under your blankets, then good, because this next video is too creepy to see out in the open where it's dark. A child is seen resting in his crib. However, he appears to have been woken up by something. It isn't until seconds later that we see what it was that woke him up. Have a look.
The dog.
Whatever this is, it appears to be observing the child with a deep gaze in its eyes. I can imagine the terror the parents of this child felt upon seeing this video. It would be in their best interest to move or to call an expert who can better handle entities that loom over children in their sleep. One thing's for sure though, I would never leave my child alone in that room ever again. I'm sure you've seen videos of pets that look like people. Most of them are funny.
Yeah.
But this one is far from being funny and is probably the creepiest thing I've seen.
Oh yeah, a cat.
I don't know who this cat is supposed to look like, but if you ask me, I would say Smart from Too Many Cooks. If you haven't seen that video, then good. You don't want to watch it. Trust me, it's the stuff of nightmares.
Hey everyone, big heads up, Paleo Valley's running a sale on all their meat sticks right now. You can get 30 sticks for $36.
Working as a bartender has its benefits, some of which include getting tips and meeting lots of new people. But the best part is that sometimes you'll encounter paranormal activity. Well, such was the case for the following bartender who looked over the following footage from the night before and saw this. Pay close attention to this area of the screen or you'll miss it.
Oh no, Fall Apart Kmart didn't look like that. No. He wasn't yellow.
See that?
Reddit user Best of Us states that there have been multiple strange occurrences that have taken place at his work. However, most of these occurrences can be explained. Yet, this incident, which was fortunately captured on camera, is one that he can't explain. Maybe it's an actual ghost. Best of Us believes this, as according to the bar's history, a married couple and their kid were found dead in the building during the 80s. On top of that, according to a few stories, there have been a couple of people who have taken their own lives at this place. As you can see, Best of Us is leaning more towards
Robin doesn't know about Fall Apart Kmart.
I would too, given the history of...
Alright, so I had this cat. I'm not a cat person. Actually, this cat had me. Like, let's just be honest here. I'm not a cat person by any means. And, well, one day this cat followed me home. And, you know, I was nice. I didn't let him in at first. I just kind of like set him out like a little thing of tuna and some milk, right? You know, like kids do. I was probably about, I don't know, 14 or so. 13 or 14. And, you know, he just kind of kept coming around. And I let him inside the house and stuff. And he'd just chill for a little bit. And, you know, wasn't ever really worried about him getting outside. But, you know, there'd be times where he would just, like, he'd come, he'd chill, right? We'd be like couch buddies and shit. Or, you know, I'd be like laying in my bed playing Doom on the Super Nintendo. Right. And, I missed the little bugger. But anyways, you know, he'd get out and then he'd leave. Yeah, I mean, he'd be gone for a couple weeks, maybe a month, you know, whatever. And he'd come back. Every time he came back, he'd be missing something. You know, start off like a little end piece of his tail. You know, and then, you know, It progressively got worse and worse and worse. By the time Fall Apart Kmart died, he had like a leg, like half a fucking mouth, no ears, like one eye that was cataracted over, you know, like fucking no tail. Like he was fucked up, and like he just go out, pick fights, end up losing something, and come back. My shit froze. No, it didn't. I paused it.
Place.
I paused it while I was telling you the story.
But what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
It might have been your internet. You tell me the whole time I was talking about Fall Apart Kmart, like it just like skipped through it. Well, whatever. You guys can go back and watch that, I guess. But for now, I'm gonna like get out of here and go watch Lady Ballers or some shit. So until Monday, bye.